Sup, dudes? I'm Nate Heater.
And I'm Frank Lamontia.
And we are the Sup Dudes. Coming at you from a parking lot in a movie theater. You know what that means? Say it with me, everyone. Movie review time. You actually said it with me.
I did.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, well.
So today
like that sometimes.
Tonight we just saw the movie The Unholy. And...
The Unholy.
Can I just say that right now?
Yeah, The Unholy. You want to say
I want to say
All right, I'm going to say not too bad. But here's the thing. I don't know if we mentioned before. I love horror movies. My favorite genre. I believe it's Nate's also.
Yes, it is. And
the problem with horror movies in general is that there are a lot of bad ones.
Yeah,
a lot of cheesy ones.
The Nun.
The Nun was just plain bad. But there's a lot of cheesy ones. Sometimes they try and make up for it with gore and stuff like that, which I always appreciate. The gorier the better, but sometimes that doesn't even save it. But a good story. The problem is they run out of storylines. I think it's hard to be original with horror.
There's too many movies out there in general to be original, so it's hard.
But a plus for me with horror movies is when it has a religious theme, as The Unholy does. So.
And The Nun did.
I was looking. I was not. Well, The Nun did too, but let's not talk about that one. So I was not going into this with a lot of faith.
Really?
Pun intended. I was not going into this with a lot of faith because I don't expect a lot from horror movies these days, unfortunately. I get disappointed too much, so I'd rather not go in with high hopes. Yeah. And I did that with this one. But it delivered some good stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
And do you mind if I just keep going a little bit here?
Go.
All right. So of course it used jump scares like they all do, but I did get surprised a couple times.
There were a couple good ones.
Yeah, I mean, and they didn't overdo it. They used more than some others do, but they didn't overdo it. They were in good spots. They didn't have some cliches. I mean, it's kind of hard to get around them because it's you're kind of limited with what you can do. And but it was a decent story. I'm not gonna say it's been done to death, but it's been touched upon here and there. But it was a good story. Most of the acting was good. Most of the main character acting was good.
Yep.
Some of the others wasn't too good, but what do you have to say on the good side?
On the good side, I do want to mention the lead actor as Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but he's also known as Negan from The Walking Dead.
Negan, yes.
And Frank actually was the one who told me about that. He literally looked at the screen and was like, "That's Negan." I'm like, "Oh crap, it is."
Yeah, he looks like Negan. He talks like Negan.
He acts like Negan.
He's just a kinder, gentler Negan.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean, sorry to the actor, but he was pretty much just Negan here, but it played well.
Before I go to the good, I just want to give a quick synopsis like we usually do because...
Yes, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to throw that in there quickly. That way they know what's up.
Now.
So basically, I want to call him Negan, but I forget his name is Fenn. That's what he's known as.
Yes,
Jerry Fenn, I think, is what he was known as.
Jerry or Jeffrey?
He was Gerald Fenn.
Gerald Fenn, okay.
But people will call him Jerry.
Okay.
But mostly they were calling him Fenn, so...
Yes.
So Fenn is a news reporter with a bad past. He's forged or faked a couple news articles in the past.
Fabricated some stories.
Exactly. He goes to this town and he finds this creepy doll that he decides that he wants to fabricate a story for. And basically from there, what do I want to say? All hell breaks loose. No pun intended with the whole religious
yeah, kind of
theme.
Literally, but not right away. But that's basically what happens.
We don't want to give too much away because as we normally do, we want you guys to watch it and experience it for yourself. Goods, I keep wanting to call him Negan all the time. I keep wanting to call him Fenn. I liked Fenn in this movie. The girl,
it wasn't too bad. I mean,
the girl who played Alice Cricket Brown.
Cricket Brown.
Cool name.
She was pretty good.
I liked her, and I liked because you mentioned
she played the nice, innocent,
yeah,
naive girl
who was trying to get people to pray to.
Yeah, well,
something in the movie we don't want to ruin.
She had an experience, and anyway,
we'll leave it at that. She was good. And that other dude that you've...
Carrie Elways. He
Yep.
played a bishop that was brought in to verify the spiritual happenings in the town and stuff like that, or to help verify it. Actually, it was someone else. But Carrie Elways, as you know, is the Dread Pirate Roberts from The Princess Bride. And I recognize him as well. He's a little older, a little thicker. But
a little thicker.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad. Although his character, I don't know, kind of... his direction was a little off after a while. I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like, at first he was more of a skeptic, and then later he became a believer, so it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they didn't really... That's... Can I do a little downside?
Yeah, go for it.
A couple of the downsides of the movie is that it kind of jumped around a lot. It had a couple of holes, like plot holes. Like, I don't know, you were kind of like missing information, and you didn't even get it later. You kind of had to just surmise or assume.
Yeah.
So that always bothers me, but it didn't destroy the movie for me.
No.
It just weakened it a bit. And speaking of weak, towards the end, it got a little weak for me there. Then it turned around again, and it ended fairly strong.
Yeah.
But there was some weakness there for a little while. But all in all, a decent movie.
I just want to quickly throw in there that I loved the I didn't get the actor or actress's name who played the villain or the spirit demon or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We'll throw that in right about here. We'll throw that in. We apologize if you watch this review.
Yeah.
Great special effect work. If there was special effects on her.
Pretty good.
I liked the mask. I'll be honest.
The mask was good.
The mask was just with the way the eyes were showing. That was pretty awesome.
The spirit itself, or the creature, or whatever, it done a little better than most.
Yeah.
You know, you can see it borrowed from some other things, which again, like, you know, how many supernatural creatures can you design? You know,
I think that's train going by.
Unless you're Clive Barker, and he's phenomenal with that.
Yeah.
But
Tom Savini.
who?
He's a. We'll talk later. He's a special effects guy.
Sorry.
He'll make a lot of people upset.
Okay.
I'll go to my badge because you mentioned yours.
Go ahead.
Well, actually, no. I want to mention a couple more good things quickly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
of course.
Some of the camera work was actually pretty nice. Some of the shots that they had a couple of dream sequences that were pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the way the camera work was, some of how you got with the jump scares and like showing off what the entity was. Those were pretty cool. Downside, I think they did a little too much. But I think they like over. I don't want to say overdid it, but like, I'm trying to think of like what I want to say. Like, it's hard to explain, but like, I got bored of it kind of.
What, the jump scares?
Not the jump scares.
Or the camera work.
Like a little bit of how like they were portraying this entity kind of a thing.
Ah, okay.
There's some ways that they like showed the entity in the movie that like after a while just kept getting like, okay, let's.
Yeah, it's kind of like we've seen that already.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's go.
Move along. I mean,
the other actors not so good.
Yeah. The extras in the crowd weren't terribly inspiring.
No.
You could tell that they were basically amateurs, but.
And there were some parts in the beginning that I felt kind of dragged on a little bit, and like you said about the ending was kind of weak for me.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it was just kind of rushed.
Like the prelude to the ending was kind of weak, and then at the end they tacked on something that.
It's an hour 40-minute movie, and I feel as though they rushed it at the end.
Well.
So I mean, like could have stretched it out to
they had to tie it up, I guess, fairly quickly.
If they could have made it like 2 hours or a little bit more.
If they stretched it to 2 hours, it probably would have been a better ending.
Exactly. That's basically all I have. So I guess we should do our ratings at this point.
Like I said, all in all, it was a decent movie. For a horror film with the religious thread through it, I liked it.
So what are you going to give it score-wise?
You want me to give it score-wise? Yep. I don't want to go too high because it wasn't that fantastic, but it wasn't horrible. I mean, it had the potential to be really bad. So I'm going to go with a 7.5.
7.5? You're really going to put it out that high?
Yeah. For a horror movie, yeah. Because I don't expect a lot from horror movies these days, so I'm going to give it a 7.5.
So you're surprised for how good it came out to be?
Yes, it was a worthy opponent.
Going into this, I kind of compared it to The Nun in my mind. So I was kind of expecting a terrible
movie. To
movie.
The Nun, I give it a 500.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, cause like we had the Nun, we had the Unholy. They're both about religious, like spirit entities or whatever you want to call them, demons. Overall, I want to say Negan. Fenn's acting really brought it up for me as well. Story wise, I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
I'll be respectable. I'll give it a 7.
There we go.
I think it, like I said, I think it exceeded my expectations like yours did. Especially comparing it to the Nun.
Yeah. Well,
so
we got to get a higher benchmark than that one.
We got it, especially for religious horror movies.
Yeah.
We have to watch another one. Hopefully another one.
By the way, if you want to see a really good religious horror movie, not even horror, it's more suspense. Stigmata.
All right.
Excellent movie. Excellent movie.
Well,
anyway, go ahead.
We didn't really do this part, but here's our average score right here. So, do we recommend this movie? I say yeah.
I do.
Do I recommend you go out to the theaters and buy it? And like watch it, I should say? Maybe not?
I would, only to get the full impact of the jump scares.
Yeah, maybe for that. But I mean, if you find other movies that are better, I would say go with that. If you find other movies that you're more interested in, go for that. If you have one of
those, like
giant
500-inch TVs at home, then don't worry.
Surround sound speakers, you're good.
Then you'll be all right. But if not, it's not a waste of money if you see it in the theater. It's a decent movie.
I'm dying over here.
Bless you, my child.
That's actually part of the movie too. So, I mean, I would recommend it on your streaming platform of choice, like I said. I'm going to quickly wrap this up because I'm just about to choke over here. So, with that being said, I'm Nate Heater.
And I'm Frank Lamantia.
And we are the Subdudes. So long.
Take care. I got to do some CPR.